my first deeper exposure to Chinese independent cinema came as doing research for the festival, but also very much as part of the Hubert Bals Fund selection committee. So this was really late 90s, so 89 I think, 98 sorry, that I started with this. And even if before I knew already also I'd met already a few of the Guang Xiaoxia and He Zhenzhen who would have films here in competition. But for if you want but to talk about this early 90s period or early mid 90s period, I think the responsible people there in the first place was Wouter Barendrecht, who's no longer with us, hard to interview. And Wouter, of course, started Fortissimo and moved to Hong Kong, and from Hong Kong he had this great network and also not only for Hong Kong cinema, but certainly also for the contact with mainland. I think at the same time, then Wouter he continued to work with Rotterdam in the Cinemart, but quite quickly. I mean, he didn't when Simon came, he didn't program for Rotterdam anymore. But of course he was. I mean, he remained a close friend of the festival. At the same time, he was also a close friend of the Berlinale. So not everything. So in terms of securing films for Rotterdam, his position became less important in a way. We've always worked with, other than with staff here, with advisors and people who have guided us. Of course, Tony for a long time, who's been very old friends with Simon, and continue to contribute. But Tony was never on the committee for the Hubert Bals Fund, for instance. So some of the crucial films, Chinese independent films that came here, really came through the Hubert Bals Fund, and this started already in the pre-digital days. Because in a way, I think you can say that the history of Chinese independent cinema is a history of digital Chinese cinema also. But for some time there was maybe until for quite a time there was the ways to control film production in China was by controlling the machinery, so the 35mm cameras. So then to shoot films, it was possible for the filmmakers to Film Academy or otherwise with production, you could make a film, but then to finish it, then you would run into troubles with Film Bureau and its machinery. So in a way, Chinese censorship is also a history of stepping in earlier in the process. With traditionally censorship in the 1960s, for instance, also famously Buñuel would show Viridiana in Cannes, and only then the Spanish would see it, and only after the screening the Vatican would say, this is an evil film. But then it was too late. So it's a learning process also for the censorship until the point where we are now in China. I'm sure they are recording this. For some time there were films that were shot but not developed and not edited or not post-produced. So the question was how to get this material here, because we would get applications for the Gebouwsfund to help here, and then it was not always easy to it was not too difficult to have the contact and to find the people that we wanted to support, or to find the project we want to support. But then, let's say, with the help of many institutions, we managed sometimes to get these prints out and to do post-production here in the Netherlands, and then to